Hey everybody, welcome back. This is RV East Coast.
Yes, and like we mentioned earlier this week, we have a little bonus video.
Yeah.
I guess we're trying to make it up since we haven't posted in a long
Neglecting
time.
you for a while, so here we are.
Finally moved and settled, so we are have a little more time on our hands, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm really excited about this behind me. We get to
yeah.
keep the trailer at home, so I get to escape from the wife every now and then to the tree. That was a mistake.
Where's my escape? Well, my best friend does live right down the street, so.
Yeah. So today we wanted to talk to you about planning your trips, especially for the new campers. It's surprising how many new RVers we have in the channel lately. So we wanted to give you a little tip that we discovered and also talk briefly about another video that we made in the past. So what do we have?
Yeah. So a lot of people do ask us questions of like where to go, and as much as we're trying to get out there and do reviews,
Yeah.
there are so many campgrounds, and
Yeah.
we've only visited a handful of them. So it is hard for us to kind of give a lot of feedback on where people should go. So we thought we'd put together a video to give you a few tips on planning your trips and how to figure out like where you should go state to state. And of course we've only been to 4, 5 different states, and most of our trips have been Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we wanted to just give you like at least one good tool that we found that is helping us kind of figure out some places to go and giving us some navigational ideas.
Well, suspense is killing me, so
Yeah.
get to it. What do you have there?
So we have this book called Where Should We Camp Next? And this is by Stephanie and Jeremy Puglisi. You follow them, right?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about them. Stephanie and Jeremy are the creators of the podcast RV Atlas. This podcast was really amazing for me. Before we started camping, I remember driving, taking work trips and driving for hours listening to their podcast and dreaming about the day we will have our own RV. So we really love their podcast. They have a really good Facebook page where no cranky RVers are allowed. You know, so it's a really good podcast. You should check it out.
Yeah.
And you should check out their book. This is, by the way, the second one.
Okay. Yeah, I forget what the first one was called.
The first one was
See You at
called
the Campground.
See You at the Campground. And yeah, we actually have learned a few really good tips, and tell me what this one is about.
So let me share a little bit about this book. So first of all, it kind of gives you a little bit of a guide of how to use it, and they have these little badges in here. They labeled them glamping, romantic weekend getaways, rustic style, waterfront, and family. So they not only give you each state where like 5 good campgrounds that you should visit, but they also at the end categorize it into the different categories I just mentioned.
Yeah, because there are different type of camping. Not only every family likes different type of campgrounds and trips, but sometimes you want something a little bit different.
Exactly.
If you and I are going without the kids, what category will we pick?
Yeah, we would pick romantic weekend instead of family. So, and it is really great to know because they did suggest, like when you're looking at campground reviews, sometimes it's hard. If you don't know what you're looking for, you might see a lot of complaints about like, you know, the bathrooms aren't kept up. But if you have an RV and you don't use the bathrooms, that might not matter to you. So they do talk about like trying to know what it is you're looking for and then trying to find campgrounds and people that are similar to that. So I thought that was good. It also does give you a lot of good websites to use. So like if you, and I didn't know this because, you know, I don't like look a lot online about camping like some people in the household.
You just like the good part.
So I just go along for the ride.
No planning, just gratification, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just reap the benefits.
Right.
But they did give a lot of good websites. So like Tenter is like a website if you're into tent camping, and it talks about like, oh, it's like private landowners with beautiful natural locations. And it talks about Harvest Host, which we've talked about before. It talks about like Hip Camp, where it's like that focuses on connecting with people and traditional public lands,
I
like
didn't
all
know
kinds
about
of
that
different
one.
places that if you're into like a specific type of camping that you could find in this book. And then finally, I marked something else here. Oh, it talks about like using online reviews. So I kind of mentioned that about
Yeah.
what it is that you need to know about taking the reviews seriously. So that's something too, just another pointer is like we belong to several Facebook groups that like Pennsylvania Camping, what other ones? We did belong to Thousand Trails, so we belong to a Thousand Trails group. And there we found a bunch of information, and if you feel like who can suggest something within an hour drive of, you know, Philadelphia, that's great for families.
Yeah.
We'd get a lot of feedback.
We can talk a little bit more about that when we share a few extra tips.
Yeah.
So this is the book. Go check it out, buy it, and do us a favor. Also give them a good review in Amazon. Their book is doing really good. So let's show Jeremy and Stephanie a little bit of love and support, and go buy the book.
Right, and it is, again, if you're looking at a state, if you just want to make like a bucket list, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Because it goes state by state. It tells you the best, one of the best places.
Yeah.
And I've already started, you know, I think there's 3 in here.
Yeah.
3 out of the like, you know, 250.
Yeah, well, the places where we can travel.
But I've already started marking off the ones that we've gone because I would really love to look back at this
Scratch all of
and
them
see.
around the entire country.
I don't know about that, but see a good number marked
Yeah,
off. I think that
yeah.
would be kind of cool. And since we're behind on planning trips, I pulled it out and was like,
timing.
all right, let me start looking up some campgrounds.
Yeah. So, yeah, great book. Over 10 years of experience, I believe they have.
Yeah.
But besides
Every
that,
state.
our
Every state.
out of our vast, many months of camping that we have under our belt, what other tips can we share for our viewers about planning the rest of the season?
Okay. Well, I mentioned like getting involved in Facebook groups, or
Yeah.
if you use other social media. I don't use other social media.
Yeah, we are in a
so
few
I don't
Facebook
know.
groups, as you mentioned, and one for Pennsylvania, another one in New Jersey because it's closed, and we used to be seasonals in New Jersey. So those are great ways to just ask, what is a good campground with these amenity in particular, and you're gonna get really good tips.
Yeah.
Another good tip is go check a video that we posted a while ago called RV Weekend Warriors,
Oh yeah.
where we share everything we have learned about maximizing every minute of the weekend. As we mentioned, we are full-time workers. Well, we have full-time jobs. So we that sounded weird.
We're full-time workers.
Yeah. Well, we have full-time jobs, and we have to maximize. When we leave on Friday, we have to make the most with the time we have in our agenda until Sunday. So we have some really good tips there. I'm gonna put the link, I believe it's right here. Go check it out. Anything else?
Well, you know, as I said about a bucket list, I mean, we also kind of keep track when people recommend places to us. We kind of write it down in a notebook that we
bucket
keep.
list
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
We used to also like do that when we used to watch the Food Network a lot, and we would write down like places that we saw that we wanted to visit
I
when we were
remember
in that area.
we were into the show The Best Thing I Ever Ate. And we started a little notepad with restaurants in Philadelphia and New York that we would like to eventually visit.
Yeah.
And that method we kind of translated into camping, and we keep writing down places we want to visit.
Yeah. So that's a great idea. Like when you see a campground recommended, you know, make a list.
Yeah.
And that way you have a little bit of a guide when you're getting started for planning.
Talking about restaurants, and going back to Facebook, you know, asking on Facebook groups, like RV's Coast Facebook group, what are good restaurants or things to do around a particular campground. You're gonna hear from people that have done it, and yeah, really good way to learn more. And I think we should end it here because you're getting really cold.
I am.
Me
Yep.
too.
Okay.
So that's what we have for you today.
Hope you enjoyed this little extra video.
Yeah.
Hope we're making up for our time away.
We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Eli.
And I'm Fawn.
This is RV East Coast.